these ideas. Where is it? So it's all women. Women blog struck their gender identities using sexualized imagery and words, often while talking about domesticity and taking care of the home. This juxtaposed mix creates a unique female gender identity combining traditional views of women, such as the mother and the sex object, which is very, very problematic. But that gets portrayed through blogs. I mean, blogs about sharing makeup ideas or fashion ideas and all that type of stuff. I see that stuff on Pinterest all the time. So, did you ever watch Leave It to Beavers? There's Beaver and his mom. Golly, Mom, your blog is just about cooking. Man, go look at some online porn. June responded, not before dinner, Beaver. Because the end of this chapter is all about porn, cyber sex. But in any case, so it's really interesting how men and women blog differently. And thus perform gender through these blogs. And that's the whole point of this first sort of section. I think, one of the things that they still talk about blogs, but they talk about issues of inequity and blogging. This is where it gets into women's movements and blogs, because blogging sometimes is framed in particular ways, as we've said. And so there's a lot of stuff in here about, and this harkens back to the beginning of the chapter, that blogs can also, even as people performing gender via blogs oftentimes sustain stereotypes, we can also use blogs to combat those stereotypes. So blogging can be liberating and transformative. So it can say, I can challenge issues of patriarchy and domination and oppression. It talks about issues of sexual liberation. Female sexual liberation can be enacted via blogging, they say. Atwood studied women's sex blogs and sex books. Blogs turned into books. Blooks. Atwood described blooks as the world's, like 50 Shades of Grey, right? As the world's fastest growing new kind of book. Through these blogs and books, female authors emphasize sexual openness, empowerment, and pleasure. Through the digital mediums of blogs, women authors redefine their sexuality and femininity by exploring their sex lives through blogging, writing about that what many people will consider the most intimate and personal form of communication. So it gives women an opportunity to express themselves in ways that oftentimes are not invited. It talks about self-expression. I really do like the quote from a female blogger describing blogging as a haven. Blogs don't only give you the chance to hide, they give you another valuable thing, a space without a title. But what happens after a while of creating a blog, you find yourself in the midst of what you once escaped. The pseudonym is no longer a curtain that hides you, but it becomes the name of the being exposed by the posts, one after the other. You gain an identity among your neighbors, and blogging an identity made more defined and clear by every new post. I went to blog for 10 years and remained to the 10th year thinking about this place as my own place where my rules apply and that I could, if I desired, post blank posts. So basically you can use blogging in whatever way you want to. And they start talking about mommy blogs, and they talk about BlogHer. And this is pretty interesting. I put a new link here. But BlogHer is this big organization. It's the largest conference and community for women content creators in the world. So women who create blogs, founded in 2005. You can contact them. They're also on Facebook and Twitter. Do you have questions? Frequently asked questions. Or FAQ. Yes, I have questions. Do you have answers? Where do I find information about the BlogHer conferences? There. How do I share BlogHer ideas, session topic? How do I become a conference speaker? How can I be a conference sponsor? I posted content to block her. Where did it go? Okay. But it's really interesting. News, let's see what news. Joy Reid to lead keynote conversation. Something going on. Food Expo, delightful. So it's just about women on blogs. Pretty interesting. And then it talks about mommy blogs. The mommy blogs are becoming so the blog community for women maintains that women find socialization through blogging. In such an online blog community, women perform their femininity by being social and interpersonal. The mommy blogs are becoming a force in the business world as well. Moms are offering product reviews and shopping tips to readers. Their influence is so strong that Procter & Gamble incorporated as many as 15 mommy bloggers to their marketing strategy. By influencing their readers, mommy bloggers gain power. So it's just really interesting how even as we have these stereotypes, we can use blogging to empower ourselves, to particularly women who are oppressed within our patriarchal society, can use blogging as a form of liberation. I'm going to stop there because it moves on to talking about YouTube and vlogs, which are video blogs. And then I'll get to this big old thing. But then we move into gender bending, and then cybersex, which they talk about. There is this stuff in here about who yes this, and one of my little slide bullet says for single folks, married folks. So lots of people. Cybersex is fun for the entire family. But there's some really interesting stuff about issues of porn. Young, this is 2008, reported that the pornography industry earns $12 billion a year in the U.S., $57 billion worldwide. The internet offers thousands of pornography sites with a significant portion open to the public, including, for example, websites describing sex tourism sites and local escort services. What is sex tourism? Okay. Users can easily stumble across a pornography site accidentally, as easily as mistyping a commonly used website called YouTube. I've never heard of YouTube before. Multiple researchers have documented that adolescent and young adult males are more likely than females to view sexually explicit online content. You think? Men are more likely than women to seek visual sexual depictions as a means to experience sexual arousal for masturbation. Women are more likely to seek out erotic narratives and chat rooms than men. Women are less likely than men to self-stimulate while using online materials. People are researching some really interesting things. I think am I turning red? But you can come across this stuff accidentally. I was at my parents' house, and I was using their computer, and I needed some new running socks or something like that. And so I just put in Google dicks, because I was looking for the sporting goods store and where it was located. That's not what popped up. In any case. Okay, so that's good enough for now. I'll be back later on. Yeah. Luke, I am your father. I know. I like you. Where's your sister? Yay.